Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we are going to be talking about the last couple of episodes of The Mole. So spoiler alert, you guys, if you have not watched the last couple of episodes of Netflix's The Mole, to find out who was the mole and who was the winner, now is the time to turn off the video and watch it, or not come back to the video until you see the finale, you guys. Until you see the finale. Unfortunately, I am glad that I watched it immediately when it dropped, because apparently people are spoiling the winner in other hashtags of other reality shows, which I do not like when people do that, because it ruins it. Because, for instance, as you guys know, I watch Big Brother. I'm a Big Brother fan, and people will spoil Survivor and The Amazing Race in the Big Brother hashtag. Even though Big Brother is over, there's still a lot of postseason stuff that's going on, and it's very frustrating. And so people were doing that today. They were spoiling the mole, and they were doing it in other reality show tags. And I believe, and I did appreciate, there were people who were tweeting about the finale, but they didn't reveal who the winner was, right? So they were kind of like, hey, I liked or disliked this person winning. I was shocked or I wasn't shocked that this person was the mole, but didn't really say their name or if it was him or her, right? So basically, spoiler alert again, it ends up being Jacob goes home at Final 5, and then we have Final 4 with Avery, William, and Joy and Kazi. And so then there's like this other mission where you have to like drag all this money through the snow, through the sled, up to this hill. And there was just like a lot of sabotage going on. And so for me, I was still convinced for a while that Will was the mole, right? And so we get to the end of the mission. Of course, Joy and Kazi are paired up. They don't trust each other. So as you know, they do not get all the money across the hill as expected, you guys. It's expected at this point. And so there was that. So then they had, of course, their quiz, and the next person to be eliminated actually was Avery. And apparently she was splitting her quiz between Joy and William is who she thought was the mole, you guys. So then she gets eliminated and, says basically she's happy with her game or whatever. And then from there, because remember previously she thought Jacob was the mole, and he got eliminated last episode. So we go into the finale, and they have like some type of James Bondish type of mission where like they're all in suits and they have to like run around this compound and go to like 3 different locations to try to get these canisters of $5,000, I believe. And so ultimately there's different booby traps in each of these contraptions, right? And there's also drones following them around. So if the drone spots you, you have like 3 seconds to get out of their vicinity. Otherwise, the complete mission ends and then there's 0 money. So the first time that they're trying to get this money, it was the first time I heard William say in the confessional that he needed to look suspicious. And I was like, really? And that was the first time that I thought, okay, maybe he's not the mole. Because you wouldn't need to look suspicious if you were the mole, right? You would already be doing things that were suspicious. So there was that. And so then he worked with Joy to try to get this canister of money, and he's trying to like direct her and everything else. And so then he thinks she sabotaged it, because basically what happens is if you do not get these canisters in a safe way and it falls or whatever, then things blow up and you don't get the money, right? So that was a flop. Like Joy was like twisting some things and going off of Will's direction. They're trying to like use these bars to get this canister off this metal so that it doesn't fall down into the hole and everything else and blow up. And that didn't work out. So then we go to part 2, where this again is, something involved to where you get on these little pipes. You have to use like these little suctions to get yourself across, because basically the whole bottom is again booby trapped. So you have to try to get to the end and get to the end without falling. And so guess who says, ends up doing it? Miss Kazi herself. And I'm like, uh-oh. I already knew it was going to be sabotage, right? I already knew it was going to be sabotage. I didn't know how or why, but it was going to be sabotaged in some capacity by her. And so first she didn't want to take both of the suctions, and I was like, yeah, this is already not going to go well. And so she barely made it out of like the very first portion of the beginning of the pipes, you guys. And then just conveniently slips and falls, you guys. I just couldn't. I was like, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? And so that takes place. And then from there, the third portion of the mission, again, was the canister was basically at the end of this other setup, like out the window. And basically, one person had to go in. The whole bottom is booby trapped. And you have like 5 seconds to like run and get this canister of money. And basically you have to toss it to somebody. You have to toss it to either Joy or Kazi to catch this money. And if they catch it, then you get to keep the money, right? It goes into the pot. So at first I thought, okay, well, Joy should be a shoo-in to be the person to catch it. But Will ends up trusting Kazi, which I found very interesting. That he chose her over Joy. So I was thinking that was strategic on his part, because he was thinking, I think, to himself, okay, if Kazi just intentionally sabotaged herself on this last mission, on this last canister, and like didn't even try, she's not going to do another sabotage the second time, right? Because we're already out of like 10K, right? We've already lost money on the first 2 locations. So she wouldn't do this again, right? So I think that was strategic on his part. I think he probably trusted Joy more, but he probably felt that Kazi would not try to intentionally sabotage back to back like that. And so he ends up choosing her. He ends up barely making it to, run and do the toss and everything else before everything blows up. And surprisingly, Kazi catches it. And I was like, wow. I was like, really? All right. And so really there was nothing else. The episode was kind of filler. Basically they had to make it out. I think they had 30 minutes to get out of the contraption and everything else, because you still have to like look out for the drones and everything else and make it out safely. So they make it out, and their grand total of the prize money is like $101,000, and I think it's like 101,500, I believe, was like the total amount for the winner. So we go from there. Basically they have to get ready again. It's the final quiz, and basically at this point you just have to answer correctly. Of the 3 of them, who do you think is the mole? Who do you think is the person that's the mole? And if you are the correct person, you win the money. You win the 101,500. So from there, they show basically all of the people who were previously eliminated. They're all dressed up and everything else. They're excited to see who's going to be revealed as the mole. Some people are, guessing between Joy and William, which I found very interesting. Nobody was really suspecting. I think one person might have suspected Kazi, but like, I felt overall the vibe was between either Joy or William was who most people suspected, right? And they would point out like specific things that each person did that kind of gave them that validation, and then they're going based off of who they chose on their quizzes when they got eliminated to basically say, hey, since I chose Joy and I was out first, maybe I can get some validation that I was right if she turns out to be the mole, right? So there was that. So they do the final quiz, and basically you have to decide, okay, who's the mole between Kazi, Joy, and William, right? So Joy is dead set on William. She is dead set that William is the mole, you guys, and has felt this way since day one. And I could see, and even I thought, as well, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And Will changed up, though. Will changed up and basically last minute said he thinks Kazi's the mole. And so Kazi, she then votes for Joy to be the mole. And so what happens is, they bring them back after this quiz is over, and they reunite them with the cast. They have the 3 of them, the 3 finalists, stand, and basically first what they reveal is a spotlight of who is the mole. And by revealing the spotlight between the 3 of them of who is the mole, you then immediately know who the winner is, right? Because everybody chose a different person. So the spotlight reveals Kazi, you guys. It reveals Kazi as the mole, and I was like, no! I was rooting so hard for Joy. Like, I'm not upset that William won. I love this cast. I think it was an amazing cast this season, but I was pulling so hard for Joy. And so the one thing I did like is they allowed Kazi, they showed this footage after it was revealed that she was the mole on how she sabotaged each mission. And I did appreciate that because I distinctly remember her because she wasn't coming off as somebody who was somebody you would think is a threat, right? And then as challenges went on, as she went further in the game, she just started doing weird stuff. And I'm like, aren't you like an IT person, a software developer? Like, there's certain things to these challenges that you would automatically know that you could tell she was blatantly sabotaging. But the thing is, I couldn't tell if she was doing it because she was the mole or if she was just doing it so that she could look suspicious. And come to find out, she actually was the mole all along. So, but she played it off to where it was kind of like she did something careless or lackadaisical or that sort of thing. So I think that's why so many people were kind of iffy on whether or not she truly was the mole. So, I would say overall, the ending was kind of anticlimactic for me. And now kind of looking back at a lot of the clues and the things that Kazi did, it made sense that she was the mole, because I was dead set on it being William. I felt Joy would be too obvious of a mole, and I saw through her game that basically she was going to start off sabotaging everything and then towards the end be like the hero, and then Will also was going to be the person who's always going to try to get the most money, but there's going to be certain instances where he's going to try to pull back to make himself look suspicious as well. So there was that. But what do you guys think? Did you guys watch the finale? What do you guys think of Kazi being the mole and Will being the winner? I was very shocked that it was Kazi, you guys. I was very shocked. Like, I would have even had Joy be the mole over Kazi because I was completely shocked. Like, seriously, she was the mole? So there was that. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.